Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the best book club podcast in the whole wide world. Ask Oprah, ask this, ask Dua Lipa. This is the best. And welcome to the Noisy Book Club podcast. My name is Modupe, and no, I am not your actual host, but I'm here in the meantime to interview the lovely contributors of our much beloved, amazing, wonderful, gorgeous. What else? What are the other adjectives I can use to describe this book? So Natasha, please help me with the words. Well written, brilliant, gorgeous, December anthology. Ponmo is a bird that has no place in a cultured culinary sky, which is our Detty December compilation of stories written by 11 excellent writers across Africa. So today I will be your temporary host, Modupe. I am also the editor-in-chief of this amazing piece of work. I am extremely privileged to have worked with all of these amazing people in creating what we have here today. So for this episode of the Noisy Book Club podcast, which is the best, once again, the best podcast in the world. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Don't ask me though how I know. Just take my word. I will be discussing with Natasha. Natasha is a contributor of one of the amazing stories here, and we'll get to the story soon. But before we get right into it, I want to tell you some very, very, very important things to do right now. Everyone bring out your pen, bring out your paper. I'm about to preach. 1, follow the Noisy Book Club on Instagram. 2, follow the Noisy Book Club podcast wherever you're listening to this right now, whether it's on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere your podcast. Follow right now. 3, right? Make sure you like it now. 4, comments. So that's 4 points now for you. Make sure that you are sharing this lovely episode, and by the time we get into it, you get all the juicy details about Natasha's life, her journey, her story, all the gist that she would tell you about this book. The Noisy Book Club is the book club arm of Noisy Streets. We only read African literature, and our mission is to promote African readership. We want to promote Africa. We want to promote African writers, and we want to read African books. And that's what we're doing here. Today, we're discussing one of our latest releases, Ponmo Is a Bird. Very quirky title. I love it. All quirky. It's a thing we're doing now. Get in. Get in. If you haven't gotten a copy of the book, you can get one now at any leading bookstore near you. We are working on getting it available across Africa as well, Zambia, Ghana. So by February, you should be able to get your hands on a copy of this amazing book. Natasha, hello, hello, hello. How are you? Thank you for just sitting quietly and wondering what the hell is this? It's crazy. How are you? How are you today?
No, that was really good. I am good, Modupe. Thank you so much for having me on the world's best book club. Excited to be here.
Period. Period. It's so amazing, and I love. When they told me I'd have to host this series, I was so excited. I was like, oh my god, yes, because I love the work, and I love that I have the opportunity to talk about this book that we've worked on. And I love that I get to see you guys again and talk to you guys again. I know the last time we spoke was in December, before the release of this. So I'm very happy to see you again in the new year. Oh my God, Happy New Year as well. I guess I have a good, yeah, Happy New Year. So how are you today, first of all?
I'm good. I'm good. As I said, I'm excited to be here and looking forward to everything that Pomo is a Bird is just going to bring to everyone. Yeah.
Um, the most exciting thing, really, like I said before, is getting the opportunity to work with a diverse number of writers across the continent. And I was telling one of our contributors that we are literally doing the work of the African Union because we have so many countries. So you can literally call us the literary aspect of the African Union, like we're so Pan African right now. This is like romance AU, you know? Okay, I'm going to do something you can find incredibly awkward by reading your bio. Hope you don't mind. You can just look and nod, like just look and nod. So everyone get to know Natasha. She's really good. She's really, really accomplished too. And I will end on a shocker. I always, every time I read your bio, and there's like your bio as well is in this book. And when one of the editors read the end of your bio, she screamed. She was like, "What?" And you guys will see why. Okay. So Natasha Makamba is a writer and storyteller whose work explores love, identity, and the emotional landscapes of African women-led pocket. She is the author of Bits and Pieces, a Copa Book Award nominated nonfiction work for young women. Producer, please, can we cue like a round of applause? I just made, and I need the hands going for her today. Her fiction and essays appear in Alone and Other Short Stories, Sister Wives Anthology, and Women's Words, Experiences and Realities by the African Diary. She has also been featured on the Girls Tables GT Story Project, the Stripes Literary Magazine, and elsewhere. In 2025, Natasha received the Francis Ogomba Scholarship Award for African Writers from Obwale Literary Magazine. Please, as a producer, are you clapping? Please, can we
Oh
hear
my
that?
God, are you
Can we
hearing?
hear
I
the
think you're
crowd?
hearing.
The
I
crowd is
think you're hearing the
shouting.
crowd now. The crowd is a
Oh,
lot.
okay, let me go on. Let me go on. And was honored with the Creative Woman Award in Literary Arts at the Her Night Awards. She lives in Lusaka, Zambia, where she enjoys life as a wife, mother to three sons, and observer of everyday shenanigans. Everyone say hello to Natasha.
Hello.
So the part I was speaking about is the part where you end your bio with three sons, and for me, I feel like to be this. How do you get the time to win all of these awards with three, not one, not two, three sons? How do you make time to write? How do you make time for your work? How do you make time to create with your like your schedule?
It's not easy. I'll tell you that it's not easy, but someone told me that you make time for what matters to you. And for me, it's my family and writing. Um, I cannot imagine a life without me writing stories, so I always make time for it. By the way, my boys, my oldest just turned 6. The middle one is 3, and um, uh, my last one is he turning 2 in May. So I've got my hands full. It's
Yeah,
I've got my
I
hands
was gonna
full.
say like toddlers.
It's
Wow.
crazy. And they're boys, so they're high
Yes.
energy.
And
They're always running,
yes.
always. Yeah.
Yes.
So, and of course, on top of that, I have to be a wife and I have to show up in that capacity as well. I have to a home to take care of, but I do schedule time to write. And also, I've come to a place where I've come to realize that my kids are growing. I'm also growing with my husband, and at some point, my kids will leave the house. And if I do
Yeah.
not invest in my life right now, I'll find myself,
Mm-hmm.
just regretting being bitter and, blaming my children or saying stuff like, I gave up everything for you, and I really don't
For
want to be
you.
at that place. So I make time right now to write, whether they're napping, which happens less and less during the day. So I have to shift my writing to later on, like the nighttime right now. I block out some time, an hour, 2 hours to just, explore writing and just keep at it. And of course, on top of that, I have a very supportive husband. So there are times when I have to meet deadlines or there's a story that I really need to put down on paper. He'll say, "Go ahead, I'll be with the boys, or I'll take the boys out or something like that." So yeah, I think
Yeah, well done.
support.
Well done. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I love. I want you to realize that what you're doing is very important. And it's very important that people like you exist to show African women that you can have it all. Like you can have the wife as a wife, a good wife. You can be a mother. You can have a strong career. Look at all these awards that decorates your bio, and it just proves that you can do something like this and do it well, and not even like let anything, fall behind. And I'm so happy because you've then ended the year being published in print, right? And your name is going across the globe. And I wanted to also just thank everyone who's been buying across, the US, Canada, different countries. And it's so amazing to see African stories travel so far and reach so many. Well done, Natasha, and keep doing what you're doing and don't ever stop. I feel like I see a much bigger big deal in your future. Come on, and I'll be very excited to see what you do in the future. Okay, I like to begin with the oath of no spoiling. So I solemnly swear to you guys not to spoil this story. I will try my best not to reveal any spoilers. Don't ask me for too much, but I will try my best. Like I will try. I promise to you, dear listener. Okay, Natasha, give us a brief overview of what Ka Mashabe is about before we delve into all the questions I have.
So
No
Ka Mashabe,
spoilers.
no spoilers, no. Otherwise, we want people to get the book and to read. So
Exactly.
Ka Mashabe is a chaotic love story based in Lusaka, Zambia. Um, it's about family.
Mm,
I try to showcase December, what Osaka is like in December during the Christmas period, and also how much we love our weddings here and how we go all out with the festivities, kitchen parties, chilanga molilos, and of course the wedding, of course. And yeah, it's about how I'm trying to not spoil the story by getting into the story. So I think if I keep going, I will spoil it. So maybe you can ask me questions about it. Yeah.
yeah, let me.
Without
I also
spoiling.
need to try. Like, I would try not to spoil too much. But if anyone asks me what this story is about, I would say it's about two cousins in December who have a very weird relationship with each other and are interconnected in many ways. In many, many ways. Let me tell you how I felt when I first read this book. I think the imagery of Zambian culture is so strong here, and I love it so much. I love that I immediately was transported into this whole wedding scene and this whole week of festivities to celebrate Chabala and Eric, right, at their wedding.
Yeah, Chabal and
So,
Eric.
what, yeah, what we can't say is Eric. The story has several protagonists, but Chabala is getting married to her dream man, Eric. Dream man is like the highest spoiler you would get today. And getting married to this man that she says she loves in December. And she chooses the most chaotic time in Zambia to have the most flamboyant wedding. She comes from a very traditional household. And then her second cousin, Seko, is it in Seko?
Seko, yes.
In Seko, is feeling the weight of being the unmarried cousin, right? In a very traditional Zambian household. All of this is taking place in December. And then Eric's best friend and a friend to the couple, Jay,
Uh-huh.
with like another spoiler there. Jay and Eric, get that spoiler, guys. Jay comes into the picture and he's in Zambia for the wedding and he catches Insepi's eye and full stop. I don't want to spoil anything more than that. But we find a very, 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 very interesting story. So I think, let me ask you a question, Natasha. Why did you write the story? What inspired the story between Eric, Jay, Chabala and Nseko. The dynamic, the circle, you guys, it seems straightforward, but when I tell you guys that this story, friends, men, keep good friends around you. Don't have a friend that is not trustworthy. People always say, oh, women hate men, women hate men. It's men that hate men. Men hate men. Men hate men. So tell me, what inspired this story? What inspired not the theme of December, but the story that why did you choose to tell Chabala and Iseko's story the way you did?
Um, I think I was inspired by a lot of things. Culture is one of them. How
Mm-hmm.
the weight of culture is just put on us as women. I felt some of that. So for before getting married, I got married uh like way after, like, you know, has the north of 2025, and you consider
You know,
this.
in Africa, you are a maiden like Spencer. Once you cross
Yes,
25,
yes,
you are gone.
hmm,
You,
yes,
you should be having 4 kids by then. Eh? 25 and not
hmm,
married?
yeah.
What are
So
you
so
doing?
that exactly. So that it really I've always wanted to, and like you said in my bio, I'm always drawn to stories that talk about the usual everyday life, what women go through, some of the stories that don't usually make it on print, the strong female characters and stuff like that. So I wanted to display family, um, chaos as well. My stories are usually very chaotic, even when I don't intend to. Uh, the chaos just kind of sneaks into there. So mostly I would say society, culture. Uh, it 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 led me to just put the story on paper. Uh, and also, stories with me have a way of writing themselves out. So I did have a plan for the characters, but they ended up telling the story in their own magical way. So, yeah.
Yeah. Um, I remember reading this and feeling like this is a love story first between women that love each other. And Nseko has always seen Chabala as a Ka Mashabe, right? And this watchful spirit, which is so interesting. I think that that is a very peculiar thing about African love. It is, it is sometimes so watchful, so obsessive, and so boundless. Like for me, before I got to the end and I understood why Chabala was acting the way she was acting, my question was, why did she feel so, what's the word? Why did she feel like she could easily access Nseko like that? Like, why did she feel like she owed her, she had to be her guardian angel, which she called herself? They were cousins. They were not sisters. They were cousins. So what is that relationship? Why did she feel like she owed it to, I think that was my question before I saw the truth really, really. So, do you think that Chabala honestly felt protective over Nseko?
Yes, definitely. She really did. I see Tabala as this older sister. And the thing with Zambia, maybe it's the same with Africa, is that uh, your cousins are not really cousins. We do really
Of
know we're
course,
cousins
of
until
course,
the Europeans
of
came, and yeah.
course.
So your cousins,
Yes.
we have this Ubuntu, this family close-knit family thing. So even if it's your cousin, they we really sisters, or it really does feel like a sibling thing. um so she is definitely older than her and sees herself as this protective um uh older sibling over Nseko. So yeah.
I mean, was it really because she was an older sibling, or was it because of what she was doing, though?
Both are to play, both sides of it, both
All
sides of it.
the two.
I
Fair
actually
enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. I see. So Can you tell me what Christmas is like in Lusaka? Because honestly, I loved the imagery. I loved reading about granddaddies because she's Insepa was just like she was supposed to be shaking ass in the club right now. Why she carrying pots on her head? She was like, I need to be in the I'm a hot girl. I need to be in the club. But she had to be carrying pots on her, and I loved that so much. So can you tell me what Christmas is like in Lusaka, and tell me what part of Zambian culture that is, and tell me what it's like really, and just so we understand, the setting and what built you and how you built your story.
So December is like my favorite month of the year because the city just comes alive. It's just so much
Mm-hmm.
hope in the air, so much joy. So there's lights everywhere. It doesn't matter whether it's we call the urban areas Mayadi, and then there's the like not like peri-urban or not so developed areas. But it doesn't matter at this time of the year because there's just noise and joy and music blaring out, out in the streets and all of that. So it's a very magical place. Uh, it's also a time when it rains heavily. So I don't really understand the weddings that happen in the rainy because it's like serious rain, and also still working on the infrastructure. So there's a lot of flooding that happens. Doesn't matter which area you're at. So yeah, so it's quite chaotic. Granddaddy's is one of the places where it's happening. It's just one of the
Yeah,
hotspots
it's like the
in
happening place
Lusaka
in
at
town.
the
Yes,
moment. So
yes.
so yeah, so that's all the Seco wanted to do. Just go and have a great time at Granddaddy's and not carry pots around. It's rainy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Chilangamlilo
Um,
is basically
Mhm.
it's part of our culture, the Bemba culture. Uh, Although now it's being modernized and most of the other cultures, not all the cultures, are doing it. This is where after after the man pays the bride price, where we call it lobola or salamo, the family wants to of course, there's another sect where they'll cook just for him. I think they call it Sekala Nsalamu, where they're just celebrating that he's paid Lobola. But Chilangamlilo is basically like a big one where, the woman's family just cooks all sorts of delicacies that apparently she'll be cooking in the household when she moves when they move in together after their wedding. So that's where that scene happened. It's one of the very first scenes where the Chilaka below and just showcasing what happens there. Women are dancing, especially the woman's family, and the elders from his family are seated and just receiving the food, and they're being taught this is what you be eating, this is and all of that. So yeah, I think I've answered your question, but you can always
Yes, yes,
uh,
yes, yes,
ask,
yes. You did, and I remember thinking, is it like a lobola? It's also a South African thing, right?
yeah.
Because I remember watching a number of South African like rom-coms, which are so good, by the way. Like, I am now into SA rom-coms on Netflix so badly. And then I remember there was one called A Lobola Man that was going to negotiate on
Love it.
behalf of the family. I know, I loved it so much. I love nothing I love more than cute guys and like very handsome African lead actors in rom-coms. And it's just a rom-com, just a lovely rom-com. And I love that I'm seeing those today. So how would you describe Chabala's personality? Or you can tell me if I'm right. So from what I read about her, she seems like someone that feels the need to be responsible, and she owes her family responsibility. She owes society responsibility, even even if it's contrary to what she wants. And so, what does that make her? Does that make her like a victim? or someone that's just responsible? Or why couldn't she be like Nseko, who was a young, wild, free, shaking ass in the club, doesn't care about responsibility, doesn't care what the aunties say. She wants to marry someone she likes. And there's a part of the book here that I highlighted where she said, unlike my cousin, I prefer to actually like the person I was marrying. Right. Even before then, Chabala had told Nseko a couple of years ago that he's not exactly my type, talking about Eric, right? But he's Zambian, comes from a well-to-do family, and the aunties were loving. You know how these things go in Nseko. I am almost graduating, almost 30, and I must settle down. Almost 30. Babes, you're a child. Like, babes, like, you are a child. What? So who is Chabala and why does she think this way?
Um, Chavala is she's inspired by what I've seen so much and some of my personal life. If you ask a Zambian auntie right now who's responsible there, is it Chabala or Nseko? They'll say
Mm,
Chabala because she's doing
Chabala, of course.
things
She's
by the
doing
book. You
yes.
know, she's
Ha.
even
Yeah,
though
yeah.
even though it's detrimental to herself, she's not being truthful. Or maybe she is being truthful to herself. She knows what she wants, but she's
Mm-hmm.
doing what society is telling her to do. And society's eyes, that is, she's good. She's a good girl. So I think for her, sh I don't know. Hey, that's a very good question. I don't know if she's a victim, but I do believe that she was trying her best to uh, people please, society please. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that she didn't really feel the weight of it until she saw the festivities happening and uh, because if you're getting into a marriage, you start getting to see, okay, this is getting real now. Is this what I want for the rest of my life? And all of that. So um, she couldn't be like Seko. Seko is, more like a picture of the Zambian girl that's coming up now. She's like, you know what? Tradition, I have to do me. I have to do what I want to do and all of that. So I was trying to um, just create a contrast of the older Zambian girl and the one that's coming up, so to speak. Yeah.
Okay, I like that. Do you find that you yourself have also been in situations where you've had to people please, not because it's who you are, but because it's just what you are required to do to have peace of mind? And is there any like situation or examples that you could share?
Um. Yeah. I might get personal on this one, but as a Zambian woman, as an African woman, I think most of us have felt the weight of tradition.
Of course. Hmm.
Yeah, there's moments
No,
where,
of course. Yeah, I
yeah,
definitely even I am the first like, daughter of my family, right? And I think growing up, I only have brothers. Like I only have younger brothers. I don't have any younger sister. So I've been expected to be the good example to them. And I think my extended family were quite shocked when I grew up quite rude. And but what they felt was rude was just me speaking up. And when older aunties and uncles or like teachers would do stuff that I should have ideally overlooked, I would say, no, come back. This is not a good thing to do. I remember I was younger and they'll be yelling at me, oh, you're so rude. You're not a good example for your siblings. You need to be a good example. You need to be silent. You need to be silent. And I was like, no, I'm not Meghan Markle. I will not be silenced. I will speak up, right? And I will burn everything to the ground. Beyonce raised me. Like I grew up watching Black American TV. So I was like, I know how to fight and I will fight. And so a lot of extended family did not like me because I was very assertive and very strong and like opinionated. And I wasn't as subservient as they would have liked. But yeah, who cares? Like now I'm grown, like who cares? So I think that's the thing with African older daughters and what we face in general. Okay. Since we've done something, we've said like a hard topic. Let's switch to something fun. So this or that. Would you rather have forks for fingers or spoons for toes?
Spoons for toes.
Yeah, same. I feel like I don't really use my toes much, but I use my fingers a lot. So I feel like,
Yeah.
but then if I had forks for fingers, it'd be easier to brush my hair though and easier to eat, right? But I feel like that'll be inconvenient later. Okay. Um, Okay, let's go into do you like watch a lot of American media or British media? Which TV shows do you like? What do you like?
That's a tough one. I think
Mm.
I like British media best. I would
British?
because the British actors are the best, actually. Right.
Really?
Most of them
So
are
like
crossing over to America, so
oh yes. I
so
agree. I agree.
I don't
I
know. That's
agree.
that
Okay.
one is
So this or that, Michael B. Jordan or Idris Elba?
Idris.
Idris?
Idris. Yes.
Mm, no. For me, I just feel like after Sinners, like, did you watch
Uh-huh.
Sinners? I've
No.
seen that man in the
Yeah.
new light. You haven't watched Sinners?
My no, I haven't. It's right there. I could watch it if I want to, but
Yeah.
um,
No,
I
it's really good.
like
I
I've seen a
watched it
lot of
four
clips of it.
times.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. No, I watched it four times. It's really amazing. Okay. So last one, Channing Tatum or Zac Efron?
So that's again.
Channing Tatum, right? The guy, the tall, big, bulky, or Zac Efron. For like this a little bit
Channing,
easy.
any
Easy.
day.
Yeah, that was so easy. That
That's
was
so
so
easy.
easy. That was so easy. Okay. Musicals. Okay, let's do musicals. Okay, so Greatest
Uh-huh.
Showman or Wicked?
Ooh, Greatest Showman.
Uh yes, I agree. I agree. I watched Greatest Showman recently with my mom. And honestly,
Uh-huh.
the whole thing, like
Oh my
the
God.
whole thing, the whole thing. The songs are so good.
Yes.
I was listening to like this is me. Look out, just here I
Yes.
come. And then they burst into the room. I love. And then when Zac Efron and Zendaya were doing like
Uh-huh.
rewrite the
Rewrite
stars.
the stars. Yes. There's so
Yeah,
much going on in that one. I love it.
there's so much going on. Anyways, Iseko and Chabala. Let's get back to the book without spoiling. So Jay, do you think Jay is the ideal man? Do you think Jay is a kind of man that you would date? Would you date or marry a Jay or Eric? Date, marry, kill. Date, marry, kill.
Okay. Um, so there's Eric, there is Jay. Who else did you say? Just
We
the
can
two?
just use both of them. So who would you date or marry or kill?
Um, I think both guys were just I
What did you say?
would um I think I don't know, hey? Um because as a
Meanwhile,
writer,
you
I know
you
I
you
know both
created
of
the
them.
move.
Yes, that's the thing. That's
Yes,
the thing.
exactly. You know
And
the
I know them, so they just needed their own woman that just because they're okay. So who would it Eric or Jay? Uh no, but no, not Eric. I think I would
really.
I would date Jay. If- I think,
Yes.
yeah,
I think I would date Jay as well. I agree. I think I would date Jay. And would you marry Eric
yeah.
or would you kill Eric?
I would kill Eric. Yeah,
Wow.
I
Nice
know,
guys
right?
always suffer. Why? Why?
Is he
Eric
nice
seems
though?
like a nice guy.
Is he?
I mean, I mean,
He was
he has
pretty
money.
entitled. Yeah, but it
He
sounds a
has
bit
money.
entitled. After everything I've done for
Yes,
you,
yes.
like
And he was like,
this,
after everything I've done for you
yeah, I
and
think
your
that's a little
family,
bit of a
you
red
dirty
flag.
rag.
Yeah,
Yes, that was definitely something dangerous
yeah,
awaiting. So happy for Chabala. I don't want to say anything. No spoilers, as you promised. Um, but yeah, let's talk about your writing process. How did you write this, and what advice would you give your first of all your writers, any writer listening to this? What can they take away from this? What can they learn from this? And what would you tell your readers to encourage them to read this story? You need to sell your story to your readers. So two things: talk to your writers and talk to your readers. Say something nice to the writers.
um, writing process is was it wasn't of course I wrestled with the characters. But it found me in a space where I was already consistently writing, and uh, it was I always wanted to write story that's based around Christmas and December, so it involved a lot of, and at the time there was a lot going on um in my family, that is, so it's wedding season, still wedding season.
Mm.
So there's a lot
Mm.
of, find myself at Chilangam Nilos, I found myself at kitchen parties, I found myself, yeah. So that was kind of space I was in, and it just felt right to just go through, just go that direction. I yes, I do plan my stories, but most of the times I just uh like I know what I want, but usually, like I said earlier, I let my creative energies just flow and let my characters just sit with me. I just tell their stories. I just uh write. I try to be consistent with it. And I think I told you this the last time we chatted, that I almost did not send. I did not almost did not submit my thesis
Yes.
because I was feeling a bit imposter syndrome ish. But I did it, and I think that would be my number one advice to writers, is that there's always an audience for your story. There's always someone out there that will love your story, that will, that is waiting to, read your work, appreciate your art. And I'm glad that I did it, because I would not be here today. Uh, so keep writing, keep at it.
Yeah.
Tell your authentic stories. Tell your stories in form that they come in. Uh, just, just be, just be persistent with it, and always finish. I always say writing is great, but what's the point of writing if you're not going to have finished work? So just keep at it. It's fun, it's creative, the creative juices are flowing, but it's also work. So make sure that you are willing to put in the works, and just make sure that you like finish like finish. So, and have fun with your work, really. Keep at it, be persistent,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
submit, submit. Just submit your work.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Mm-hmm.
submit your work. And to the readers, I would say I want you to have fun with this story, showcasing a part of my country, my city, and the various forms that love comes and shows up for people, whether it's through cousins, family, you know, just someone you just met, and how chaotic that can become as well. So I want you to have fun with this story. I want you to laugh and just immerse yourself in the madness that can happen
Yeah.
with love
Yeah.
sometimes. Yeah.
Yes, I love that. I love that. I love that. You said they should. immerse themselves within the madness that love can become. And it is so true. It is so true that love is a temporary madness. And I love to, I think that was the first, when we did the first ever call for submissions for LIDD 2023, or I believe, or 22. In my note, I put it there that love is a temporary madness, particularly in December. And I love that. And what I want to say to the reader, wait, first of all, to the writer, submit your work and write. It is literally those two things. Even if you don't know where to publish your work, open a medium, write online, write blogs, just write and put your work out there and submit. Submit, submit, submit. Don't write yourself off before you even submit. Submit and try. I always say to myself that there is no star too high in the sky for me to catch. And I always aim for everything that I think I apply to. And to the readers, you guys need to read this book and you need to read Ka Mashabe. This, for me, is when I read the story, I was so excited once again because I love African culture. Our culture is so rich, and this story is deeply cultural. You know, it's a love story between two people who are practically sisters. And many of us in Africa can relate to having a cousin that is more like a sister than a cousin, you know, and having a family that is actually so deep and so close. And you can see here that eventually the real lovers in this story are Chabala and Niseko, who are our female leads in this anthology, in this story. So make sure you grab a copy of this book once again, and make sure that you are reading and sharing and promoting African stories and supporting African writers and sharing their work and reading their work. You guys can buy a copy of Ponmo Is. It'll be available in Zambia from February. It will be at every bookstore near you, the ladies bookstore that near you. You can also buy from noisystreets.com/shop, and we can deliver straight to you directly. Okay, Natasha, please leave us with a couple of nice, lovely words before we say goodbye to our listeners, watchers, viewers today. Say your final goodbye.
Thank you so much for having me to say it's just the whole process of working with you has been amazing. I hope crossing my fingers that we'll work on some more projects together.
Of
You
course,
have
of
me.
course. No, I
Yeah,
will. You're so good. All you have to just write about Zambia, and I'm sold. Like I'm literally sold. Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me, and so grateful to everyone that's been buying a copy of the copy of our books. Keep buying. If you bought a copy for yourself, I always say, were you keeping your joy to yourself? Just buy a few extra copies for your friends, your book clubs.
Exactly.
Share the love,
Exactly.
spread the love. Yeah,
Exactly. T. Thank you
yeah.
so much, Natasha. And thank you everyone for listening to today's episode of the Noisy Book Club podcast, the best podcast in the whole wide world, the universe, and the Milky Way. Thank you everyone, and we hope to see you next time. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. All my points that you wrote down from the beginning, please bring them back up now and do them again. I thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.